All right, so it looks like we're right at around 10 o'clock, so we're going to get started here. I want to thank everybody for joining us today on this week's edition of the Long Coffee Break. My name is Jordan Weiss. I will be your host today. Special guest, Salem from Q-PAC. We're going to talk about fan arrays, retrofit applications, and then ECM fan arrays, retrofit applications, and then also OEM applications and Dyke and air handlers and such. I'm going to shoot it over to Salem. He's going to get us started. So thanks for everybody for attending.
All right, Jordan, thank you for the introduction. Hey, everybody, my name's Salem Hammerghausen, and I'm a sales engineer here with Q-PAC. Just going to kind of take you guys through just a general product overview, just kind of some higher level stuff as well, just about where we're coming from and where we're going. So without further ado, let me get started. All right, so just a little history for you guys. Back in 2012, we started out basically building custom air handling units, and that's when the ECM technology started becoming more popular. We started integrating them into brand new Daikin units as an ECM fan array, and we were able to really reduce the footprint of the units, and it caught on really well, and it was just a great solution in general. With the success of that, we had some reps that were asking us if we could build a retrofit kit to go for actual fan replacement type situation. In 2015, we launched the retrofit kit. After that was going for a little while, we realized, this is something that deserves some actual dedicated development, and we developed the Quick Connect box in 2017. That's that box you see here on the wall. Basically, what it does is it consolidates power and controls and pressure tubing for the systems, and it also provides a means of overcurrent protection as well. In 2018, we launched Quips. That was a big step for us. See, really what happened is we were kind of moving from like a custom shop where we're doing everything custom for each customer. Basically, it's every solution is different. We have our mechanical engineers doing the drafting to kind of be more of a product company where we're building a specific product that we want to put out there. So Quips actually enabled us to take a set of parameters, in this case, CFM, TSP, internal width and height, and the supply voltage, and just output a whole bunch of different selections. So we had a program that was kind of running these things for us. So Quips was great. It helps all of our reps to do selections much quicker, to get submittals and quotes out to their customers even faster. And then it was in 2019 that we actually went off and separated from our parent company. We were with Mass HVAC at the time. Separated from our parent company and became Q-PAC Systems Inc. In 2021 is when we launched FS1, which was a big departure from kind of that custom type of company philosophy we had at the time, right? So we basically built FS1 to have a more productized type of thing. So we had we got rid of Modbus. You didn't have to address individual fans. Things were not all custom hand drawn by our engineers. That was FS1. That's what we've been doing for the past few years. But now in October, we're actually releasing our newest development, which is the Q-PAC fan. It's kind of just a new way of thinking about the product, basically as a single air mover instead of a whole bunch of smaller ones. So I'll jump into some of the details here with you. But first, before I do that, I think I'll just talk a little bit about why Q-PAC. Why do you want to use us as the fan choice for the air handler? The main thing is it's the ease of installation. This product is going to be it's much easier for your electrical contractor and your mechanical contractor to do the install for. That is if it's going into a retrofit situation. The scope reduction from the harnesses and from just the kind of the package or the modular system. It's very plug and play. That helps a lot. There's really hardly any preventative maintenance. We tell people sometimes you might want to clean the fan blades once every 6 months, but you don't need to check to check on them really at all. If one fails, you just kind of replace it. It's almost like a light bulb. Again, we have Quips. It's a really powerful configuration tool. Our reps have access to that. They can get submittals and quotes really easily. There's the inherent redundancy on the product. So comparing the actual fan to the Q-PAC fan to a blower with an AC motor and a belt, if it's just a single blower feeding the air handler, if you lose that blower, you're not moving any air. So having all the more than one fan is going to really help with that redundancy. I mentioned already the reduced air handling unit footprint. So if you're working on the Daikin selection tool, or you're working with your sales tool, you can actually select us in there. So we are available as one of the fan options, and you can significantly reduce the footprint of your air handler, which is going to save you on the cost of the air handler. Again, it's going to ship knockdown for all of our retrofit applications. So if you're purchasing it, if Long is purchasing it through Q-PAC, it's going to be shipped knockdown. It's going to be palletized to be able to fit right up in the service elevator and go right to the actual job site. Additionally, we have pretty short lead times. It's like 2 to 3 weeks, and we can have quick ship options as well, going down to a minimum of 48 hours with our production approval. And then the last thing is we also have a 5-year parts warranty. I think it's the industry leading warranty at this point. I don't know of anyone else that's warranting their parts out that long. All you'd want to do is just send us a picture, or send along a picture of the equipment that's faulty, and we'll replace it for you if it's within 5 years. So just kind of get into the product a little bit here. This is our FS1. So I'm going to kind of interchangeably talk about FS1 and the Q-PAC fan, and I'll get into the differences a little bit more here in a second. There's basically 5 main components to the Q-PAC FS1 system, and that's going to be the bulkhead wall, which is this the galvanized steel wall that we are bending in-house to pretty much whatever parameters have been selected. There's the wall harnesses that are also made in-house. They're cut and harnessed all based on whatever design it was that was selected. So those show up in the box at the site. You're just going to plug them into the fan ledge, and then you're going to run them according to the wire routing that's provided for you to the quick connect box. The quick connect box is really kind of the heart of this whole system, which is basically what turns the fan array into a fan, right? Because now you can look at it as you've got one run of power and controls going right to the quick connect box. You can treat it as one air mover, basically, in the situations where you just have one, or you can think of it as an array of Q-PAC fans, even more than one. And that's going to have your overcurrent protection. It's going to have your pressure transducer in there. It's going to have individual fan status as well. So those are the features that you need inside the quick connect box. The fan assemblies themselves, they show up to us like this from the major German manufacturers: Rosenberg, Zielabeg, EBM PAPS. Those are the ones that we're using. It's just and they are available from us as well as spares or as replacement parts as needed. And then lastly, it's the control panel. The control panel is currently, it's a requirement. If you want to do the premium controls package, you need to purchase it from us. If you don't, you can get away with just purchasing the Q-PAC fan as a basic, but that's a little bit too much detail. So moving on, let's go into each one in detail here. So our bulkhead wall, the best thing about the bulkhead wall is it's this modular design where, based on whatever aspect ratio it is you've selected, so let's say you get a 100 by 100 area you're putting the wall in. We might return 6 or 7 different selections that all have different number of fans, or they might be different sized fans. It all just kind of depends on what performance parameters you're trying to select around. So your selection that's going to be the most efficient might be a little bit different than the one that has the most redundancy, for example. So the design of each panel, it's all taken care of in our configurator program. And when these are packaged, they're all going to be on pallets, and it's just a very modular plug and play type of situation. And there's channels on the back that are actually going to add that structural rigidity to them. So we have some guides on our website. There's installation guides, there's premium controls guides, there's wiring guides, and these things will all kind of walk you through the process of installing one and understanding more about the product. Additionally, we have this wall coupler. So if you do have more than one Q-PAC fan, you can actually connect them with this coupler, and that's going to ship based on the system. So if you need one, it'll be there. Lastly, we have this ledge as well, and the ledge is just going to help with installation and swapping fans out. All right, and then with the harnesses, again, we're doing all this in-house. Each one is going to be cut to length of the unit that you're looking at. That's going to have your controls, your power, your pressure transducer tubing there as well. It really takes away the scope, right? So what we thought we would do is we said, hey, right now on a fan array, your electrician needs to run controls and power from each individual plug fan to some other place on the other side of the air handler. And we wanted to kind of make it more of a product, make it easier to work with. So we said, well, why don't we just do that? And that way the installer can just connect the harnesses from the quick connect to the fan really easily. There's no need to get the actual electrician involved in the scope of this. So that's another way you're winning with Q-PAC is you've really reduced your labor as well here. So those are great. We've got the zip tie holes are pre-punched in the metal, so you actually kind of see where the route is just by looking at the panels when it's fully assembled. That helps a lot, but there's also some diagrams and some information that are going to be in your control panel when it ships to you that will explain how to do that. So moving on, then again, here again, this is a quick connect box. Like I've already said, this is going to consolidate your power, your controls, your pressure tubing, overcurrent protection. That's where you're going to get your individual fan status with the printed circuit board that's in there. And it is a pretty low profile design to maximize the available space you're going to have there. So, all right, and then controls. You've got a couple different options for controls. Basically, it's either basic or premium. And with both of those, you're going to get a fuse disconnect, which is your main means of disconnecting power. You're going to have a handoff auto switch and have a potentiometer. You can either operate in hand mode or in auto mode. And in hand mode, there's a potentiometer there that's going to allow you to actually vary the speed manually. So after an install, you want to see if the power was connected correctly and the control conductors as well. So you're just going to put it into hand mode and you're going to turn the knob just a little bit to see if it's running. If it's running, you're good to go. Turn it back off. Sometimes if your controls contractor hasn't actually gotten in there to do that yet, but you need to start moving air, you can run it in hand mode for maybe a day or something if you want if it's a urgent facility that needs to be up and running. Additionally, there's the auto mode available with the basic controls, which will just take a 0 to 10 volt input signal, like an input speed signal, and it'll run it at that. So basic is really simple. There's not a lot of flashy stuff going on. But then the premium option is where you're going to get your airflow monitoring. It's going to give you your individual fan status. We also have a fireman override feature for some kind of this more complicated control schemes you can see with different BMSs with different buildings. We also have a constant airflow mode, which is a control type that's only for the premium controller, where you can actually just type in the airflow you want to meet at that HMI, and the system is going to run to that point. And then we also have a static pressure mode where it maintains a constant static pressure at the set point you specify. So and these are all UL listed. We have a UL 508A panel shop at Q-PAC where we build all these, so there's no issues with that. And yeah, and controls is actually we take pride in. So, but going back to this whole Q-PAC fan idea, just to touch on this for you guys real quick. So basically, what we've done is we've made some changes to the kind of the product architecture and the Quick Connect box and specifically, so that you'll be able to actually get all the premium features from the premium controller, but you won't actually have to use the control panel. You'll be able to hook up directly power and controls to the Quick Connect box and get those features. It's going to talk Modbus on the communication line you bring in, and it's going to actually give you all the BACnet communication, kind of everything you're looking for through that Quick Connect there. So this this new product is going to be available in October, at the end of October. We'll probably shoot out some kind of marketing email about that whenever we announce it fully, but it really does make it more like a single fan, as opposed to a fan array system or something like that, right? You don't need to disconnect. If this is a retrofit project, you're just installing the fan, and the building and the installer, they're just going to connect it as they would any other fan. If they have an existing disconnect, they'll use that. Any existing conductors, they can just use those. So I think it's a really good step forward. It's going to potentially open doors for a lot of different applications as well. One of the things we did add for this is there are individual pressure transducers for each one of the ECM plug fans. That's going to allow you to get individual airflow for each one of the fans. That's been a feature that's been requested. And then we actually developed a whole brand new printed circuit board inside there that handles all the features from the control panel. So that's the Q-PAC fan. Last thing I've got here is just a picture of kind of one of the things our competition is doing. This is a direct red plenum fan cube array. basically, we think that in most cases, I think our system is a little more robust than what we see here. It's a little easier to work with. You don't need to have extra motors laying around, extra VFDs. If any one of these goes down, you need to replace that. You're going to reduce the equipment costs as well if you don't have 6 VFDs and 6 fans. But there are some situations where you would want to use it. If you have really high static pressure or if you're in a corrosive environment, these are very useful. But typically, we see the most savings with our product because of the lack of maintenance items and the ease of installation as well. Your electrical and mechanical scope tend to be a lot higher with an installation like this one. But yeah, with that, that's what I've got. I will turn it over to Jordan here.
Thank you so much, Salem. Quick question on KAIC ratings on those panels.
Yes.
Do you happen to know what we're running with there?
Yeah, all of our control panels are 100 KAIC.
Okay.
Premium
perfect.
and basic. Yep. And also, Q-PAC will be at Longtoberfest. Just a quick shout out there I've got on the screen. But our Western Regional Sales Manager Aaron Levy is going to be there. He'll have a booth, and he'll be able to talk to you about all things Q-PAC. So, Jordan, thanks again for the opportunity to be on the show, and appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. So like Salem was mentioning, we do have our long Oktoberfest coming up. We'd love to see everybody there. We're up to 50 vendors now, all going to have product showcases, including Aaron Levy is going to be here from Q-PAC. So if you guys want to get your hands on the actual item of what we're doing, they're going to have demos and all kinds of stuff. We'll be showcasing our new training center and our office expansion. We'll have live music, food, drinks. It's going to be informative, a lot of fun. Hope to see everybody there. Thanks everybody for attending. Really appreciate it. Please join us next week when Jeff Rodell is hosting Niederman for dust collection systems and design. Should be a really good one. But with that, let everybody go. And thanks everybody. Hope to see you at Longtoberfest.